Welcome to Homeopathy at Home with Melissa. And we are here today with Lisa Jillani. Did I say that right? Let's see. Unmute yourself. You got to click unmute. There we go. Sorry, I did that.
Well, the dog starts to bark just as we start.
That's all right. No, I've got two. It's probably going to happen to me too. Did I say your last name right, Jillani?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most
Awesome.
people don't, but you did.
Oh, okay. So we've got some people starting to watch on Facebook. Awesome. So see, there's mine. So here we are today with Lisa, and she is going to explain to us what she does, why she does it, and how we can help. And then if we have questions that come in through the Facebook Live, we'll answer those. And if I think of any questions that might be helpful, I'll ask. But Lisa, go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us what you do and why.
Well, as you said, I'm Lisa Jillani. I started People Advocating Vaccine Education in 1996 when I was reported to CPS for not giving my 24-hour-old daughter the hepatitis B shot. And so I didn't want other women to go through what I went through. So I really started PAVE just as a support system for moms who were going to the hospital to give birth. And that never really happened. And so it evolved more into an educational type resource. Mainly, I would educate people about the dangers of vaccines, what their rights are when they go to the hospital. Although I'm a huge advocate of home birth, but I didn't have that option when I was having my kids. But anyway, that and also providing lists of doctors who are tolerant of your choice, and also helping people with their exemptions for school. That was the main thing that PAVE did up until 2015 when the Jeff Tort sponsored a bill. I think it was Senate 458. I'm not good at remembering numbers, but that bill would have removed our religious exemption. And that's when PAVE became a little more politically involved. As a nonprofit, there's certain things we can and cannot do politically. So ever since then, we've been more politically involved with the bills. But in the last year, I've come to the conclusion that there's just not enough people willing to contact their legislators to make a difference. And I'm not going to give that up. I do have a very awesome postcard team, and we constantly contact our legislators, and I think that is important. But given the fact that I am getting older and that I just feel like PAVE should return to its original purpose of education. And hopefully, the more people we can educate, the more people will take it more seriously that they need to guard their healthcare freedom rights.
Yeah, I agree. That's great. So I didn't know a lot of your story there. I didn't know that that's how you got started. And so you had a child in 1996, and I did too. Yeah. Um, so, so you're wanting to return to education. What does that look like? What does PAVE do for people?
Well, up until 2015, well, a little bit past 2015, about every 2 years, we would have a conference or a seminar or whatever you want to call it. And I would always bring in a well-known person in the vaccine awareness movement. And so I'm probably going to return to that. And also any sorts of, well, one thing that we did for a while is like if you're going down the road and you see somebody that's got a yard sign that says they've just had a baby, some of the people on my team would make a note of the address, and then I would send a postcard to them to educate them about their rights. So that's one very simple thing that anybody can do. I hear so much people saying that they don't have time. Well, I raised 2 kids and ran PAVE and worked a part-time job, during that time. So it is possible to do something. So I will say that I get a little discouraged and frustrated when people say they don't have time. The postcard team, it takes less than 5 minutes a month and about 70 cents to contact your legislators.
Wow.
And I even help people who aren't very legislative savvy, help them figure out who their legislators are. And it's as simple as writing one statement on a postcard and addressing it. You can do that in a carpool line.
That's right.
Um, and so I've been mostly focused politically in the last few years that I have gotten away from some of the projects that I had previously done. So starting in January is my target date for getting back on board with more of an educational resource.
Awesome. So yeah, we always make time for what we want to make time for.
Mhm,
That's really just the truth. So,
mhm,
if I think we often think that, well, somebody else will do that.
mhm.
Somebody else will do that because there's so many of us that want the education and want the freedom, but we either don't know how to fight for it or we just think somebody else will do that. But what I see is many people asking you your PAVE for things and
Mhm.
and there's not much of a return. So,
Right.
to help you. So tell us, how can we help you? What can everybody do to make PAVE successful and support you?
Well, I hate to be negative, but what's happened in the past is people would be so enthusiastic to help me, and then they don't. Um, I've given people very simple tasks to do. For one example, um, I collect email addresses so I can contact people, and I've had probably 3 or 4 people say that they would do it, and I would say, well, now if it comes to a point where it's too much for you and you don't want to continue, all you have to do is just let me know. There's no hard feelings or anything. Well, not a single one of those people came to me and said that they had not been doing it.
Mhm.
And so it's really become very hard for me to trust people when they say they do want to help, because I'm not a micromanager. If you tell me you're going to do something, I trust you to do it. I'm not going to be contacting you every day, hanging over you, because I
Yeah.
don't like that at all. I don't want people to micromanage me. So I will say that it's kind of been mainly me and maybe 3 other people that I know are doing what they said they're going to do. So if anybody wants to help, I really need people who are going to really do it.
Right. And financially, you could use help.
Right. We have expenses. We have, overhead. The oh, what do you call it? The internet bill that I have to pay every month, the server, whatever you call it, and I have to renew my domain names. And off the top of my head, that's just a few things. And
Yeah.
then postage is a really big thing,
Right.
and printing.
Yeah.
I print postcards. About 100 and well, I have to get 250. You have to buy them in bulk. Postcards every month, and then I have to pay postage, and I have to buy labels. So there's just a lot of office supply type stuff.
Yeah.
And um, then if I'm going to do a conference every 2 years, that's going to cost quite a bit of money. I have to pay airfare, hotel, food. Um,
Right.
Most of the people have been kind enough not to ask for a stipend. Um, but if there was to come a time that a person would ask for payment, I'd have to do that. You have to rent a room, all the expenses entailed in putting on a conference.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so what was my question? Um, okay,
Oh,
tell me.
also the billboards too that we did. Um, hopefully everybody saw our billboard trucks that went in different parts of North Carolina. That was a big expense. And then the blip billboards that we got for a while, that was a big expense too. And I know someone made the comment in one of the groups that they didn't know who PAVE was. Well, if we had millions of dollars, you'd know who PAVE is.
Right. That's
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
we can only do as much as we get donations for.
Okay. So remember my question. Would, have you ever considered expanding to other states? Because this is North Carolina, is that right?
Yeah, no, we're not going to expand outside North Carolina. It's all I can do to keep up with North Carolina. But I do know people in just about every state. I'm connected to the NVIC, and their advocacy portal person is Dawn Richardson in Texas.
Mhm.
And Dawn and I go way back. She started her group called PROVE, Parents Requesting Open Vaccine Education. She
Mhm.
started PROVE a couple years after I started PAVE.
Mhm.
So, and then also the NVIC website has a map that you can locate other groups.
Okay. So if somebody's sitting here and what if somebody's outside of North Carolina, but maybe they have grandchildren in North Carolina and they want to help us fight? Would you allow them to help do whatever?
Sure, they could do that. Absolutely.
So for those of you listening and watching, if you are serious about helping, you want to, this is a commitment, which I realize our society has a hard time with these days. But if you want to make a commitment to helping, or if you want to donate, tell them what would they do?
Our website is vaccineeducation.org, and there's a donate tab there for PayPal. And also our mailing address is on there if they would like to send a check.
Okay. All right. And then because of the time that we're recording this right now and this day, there was the whole PayPal thing just last week. And so what if somebody says, I don't have PayPal? I know they can send a check. What if they don't have checks? I'm just trying to think of questions that people would ask in the future. Is
Yeah.
there any other way?
Well, I really can't think of another way. I know people ask me if I've got Zelle and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get my daughter to help me set up Zelle, but you'll have to educate me. What's this PayPal thing that happened?
So PayPal came out. So something was, I think, accidentally leaked that PayPal was saying they were going to start charging people $2,500 and freezing their account and charge them $2,500 for misinformation. So kind of like Facebook, deciding what's right and what's wrong, and so people are fleeing from PayPal left and right now.
Well, now, if I'm not mistaken, when I went in PayPal in the last couple days, a message popped up that said that that was not true. So I
Right.
guess you can decide what you want to believe.
That's right. So yeah, so they came back out and they took the statement away and said, no, 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 we didn't mean for that ever. That was something we were thinking about. We didn't mean for that ever to come out. But people are still saying, well, it's in your thoughts. So we're out. I still have PayPal. I feel like it's one of those distractions, one of those things we get all upset about for a minute and then we forget about it. But
Right.
just wanted to ask the question because I'm having lots of people right now tell me I don't have PayPal. How else can I pay you? So I have an alternative, but maybe this will be a short-lived thing. And but you can mail a check. So that the address is on the website. You can mail a check, and Amazon Smile. If
Oh,
you
right. Yeah. That's an awesome way to donate, because you don't get charged anything extra. It's
That's
not
right.
like if you buy a tea kettle for $50, they'll tag on an extra $5 to give paid. A certain percentage goes without any additional charge. And you just go to Amazon, and at the top of the screen, it'll say Amazon Smiles. And you have to use PAVE's whole name. It's People Advocating Vaccine Education. Because if you just use PAVE, either it won't come up or something else will come up.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So I have that, and I use Amazon like crazy. So almost all of my purchases, I see it comes up, Amazon Smile, you have donated to,
Mhm.
to PAVE. So a lot of my purchases are a percentage is going to PAVE. Um,
Also,
that's
let me throw out there, Lisa Ann is my go-to person when it comes to maneuvering Amazon Smiles from your phone. I don't use my phone for anything but calls and text,
Mhm.
so I don't know how you even order things on a phone,
Okay.
but apparently there's some sort of a different way you do it than if you're on a computer or a laptop.
That's right.
So,
That's right. So it used to be, because I've known about Amazon Smile for PAVE for a long time, but I always did all my purchases from my phone and it wouldn't let me do it. Or I guess what you're saying now is there was a different way, which I didn't know.
mhm,
But
mhm.
now I'm the same. I made sure that I was donating to my charity is PAVE, and it does it from my phone, just like I just make a regular purchase and it just does it just like any other purchase. So I don't have to do that anything special. But yeah, if you need help with that, any of you that are listening or watching, if you need help with that, message me and maybe we can post, maybe I can get Lisa Ann to post some directions or something. I can put it in the comments if people are having trouble.
Okay,
Um,
let me
so what
and
else?
encourage friends and family to do Amazon Smiles as well.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So you're going to get back to education, and that might include conferences. Um, and so when you're educating parents, what are how do you do that? What does that look like? Are groups of people coming to you, or are you doing one-on-one? How are you educating people?
It's usually one-on-one.
Okay.
People would come to me or still do come to me. Right now, I'm trying to help someone with an exemption for her daughter's college.
Mhm.
Usually, it's people come to me. Before social media, PAVE would have a meeting every month. Like many years ago, it would be every month.
Mhm.
And then it became every other month. But as soon as social media hit, people didn't want to leave their house. They could go in a Facebook group or a MySpace, I guess MySpace, I don't know, but they'd go in a Facebook group and that was their community.
Mhm.
And it's been in the last few years or so where people seem to be wanting to have human contact again.
Well, yeah, yeah.
But one of the things that can be has well, I guess it was mostly when social media hit, I would do all this planning for a meeting and 2 people would show up.
Mhm.
So until I see that there's gonna be enough people showing up to make it worth my time and expense,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna keep continuing like I am.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Um, okay, so action steps. Go to the website. Say it again.
Education.
Vaccineeducation.org.
.org, and we also have .com. Um, Again, it's people advocating vaccine education. So just remember it's the last 2 words of PAVE's name.
Okay,
So
good.
vaccination.org and .com. And because of being so, involved politically, the website's got quite a few broken links on it now. I haven't been able to really maintain it. So I've gotten a webmaster that says that she will help me clean it up and make it a little more user friendly now than it has been.
Wonderful.
I want to say, just as a side note, the person that donated to make PAVE's website look better, he died of COVID. But
Mm,
let me take it back. He did not die of COVID. He died of hospital treatments for COVID. Let me clarify that.
mhm, mhm.
He was a
Wow.
young he was in his early 40s.
And he donated to the website development.
Yeah, he had a website for his own business,
Mhm.
and, he told his webmaster any free time that he had to work on PAVEs. it did take a couple years, but I mean, I had no problem with PAVE's old website because I don't need bells and whistles. I just need clear information.
Yeah.
But this guy apparently thought that PAVE's website looked like it was from the 90s.
You have to keep up with the times.
Yeah. So,
Okay, well, good. So we're looking for, so action steps, go to the website, vaccineeducation.org or vaccineeducation.com. You can make a donation there. Or you can, and you can go and set up, if you use Amazon, that's the easiest thing in the world you can do is go right now to Amazon.com, go under, like Lisa already said, smile, or and then choose your charity, type in people advocating vaccine education, type out the whole name, and then click it, and that's it. Every time you make a purchase, those that qualify for that, they'll be included, they'll get some money. And then if you are interested, whether you're in North Carolina or not, if you're interested and committed to helping, you say, I want to help, I want to be on a team of people who are educating parents about vaccines, then get in touch with Lisa. And you know what? I mean, stuff happens. If you decide you want to help and then life happens and you can't, just let her know. That's all she asked. Just let her know that you can't help anymore. But, so we really need some people to help and donate, and then look for, spread the word, because people in our local area who live in our area don't even know that PAVE exists or what it is. So we need the grassroots. We need the word to be spread, mouth to mouth, voice to voice, share it on social media. When you listen to this podcast, share it. When you watch this YouTube video, share it so that people can start to understand what Lisa does, what she's been doing since 1996. What a commitment, when you have all these things where, people don't show up or they don't do what they say they're going to do, but you still keep going. Why? Because you care. Your kids are grown.
mhm.
But Lisa
That's
cares.
That's what I have seen in the movement since 96 in groups in various states. Once the people's kids got grown and they had time to help, well, they didn't have a dog in the fight anymore, but yet people say, well, I've got kids, so I can't help. So, you know, but another thing I'd like to throw out there is I am open to ideas if people have any ideas about how we can educate the community.
Mhm.
I'm open to ideas. And again, a lot of it, it takes money to do. So that's why, we ask for money, is because we can't do anything if we don't. One of the projects we did several years ago was people donated to the school district in their county, and then PAVE sent letters to every elementary school in that school district to let the school nurse or whoever know that they need to be letting people know about their exemption rights.
Okay.
So that's another example of how we've educated.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, if you have ideas, should they email you, or is the contact information on the website?
The email address is on the website. It's kind of funny. We were one of the first people or first groups to have a Yahoo email address.
Mhm.
And at that time, you could only have 7 letters. And so that's why it's WER PAVE at
Mhm.
Yahoo.
Okay.
And I've had people tell me that we should not use Yahoo, that it should be like lisa@vaccineeducation.org. But that email address is so old that I hate to surrender it because
Right.
so many people out there have it.
That's
I
true.
realize it's not super professional sounding, but
Well, it also costs money to have a lisa@vaccineeducation.org. That costs
right,
money to have.
right.
So yeah, email. Yeah. So I love what you're saying. Just, keep it simple. And so thank you guys for watching, for listening. And if you have ideas, send them to
Mhm.
Lisa. You know, see about donating, see if you can help, and contact her. And you know, let's get people educated, because I've got, you know, all these new mamas. I mean, every generation, or not even every generation, but every, you know, few years, people are coming and say, not even every few years, all the time, people are coming and they have no idea. You know, they want to know, what do you think? Well, it's not about what I think. You got to do some research. So that's
Exactly.
what this is all about, is education. I did my own research 23 years ago, you
Mhm.
know, 24 years ago. I did my own research. So, you have to do your own research. When people come and ask me what I think, I have to point them to, okay. And then they say, well, where should I research? Because you can find whatever you want to find. The answer that you want, you can find it on the internet. So, you know, we trust people like Lisa to educate us, who have been in this for a long time.
Oh, there is a recommended reading list on the PAVE website.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay.
Mhm.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Lisa, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And I hope that this was helpful. And I hope to see PAVE really just grow strong and get as big as it needs to get to help people. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you. And as you can tell, I really need techie people to help me.
And I
I think
love technology, but goodness gracious, I know we got to find people who love technology that can. I'm glad you have somebody working on the website. So yeah, maybe they can help you with the technology stuff too.
yeah, I have a few tasks that people can do that would only take maybe like there's certain websites that I need people to follow to keep me up to date because I can't follow everything.
Right.
And that would only be going on that group's website, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes a month. So
Wow.
all of the help that I need, 90% of it is things that you could probably be sitting in your car in a carpool line to do.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't wanna burden anybody.
Right. Right.
So,
But, yeah. But let's all pitch in and help. Okay.
mhm.
All right. Thank
A
you so
shout
much.
I wanna give a shout out to Lisa Ann and Lauren. They have been keeping tabs on the legislative calendars for several years, and, they keep me alerted and everyone else alerted if there's gonna be a bill that infringes on their rights.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. I love, 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 love Lisa Ann. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know personally the other lady, but yeah, anyway, thank you both so much for what you're doing to help Lisa. And thank you so much. Well, maybe we'll check in a year or something to see how you've grown and what's happening.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.